Well, hello everyone. This is Leslie Powers. I'm here with our guest, Woody Martin, and I am here to introduce Woody and his work to you in preparation for our Freedom Under Natural Law 5 conference, which is coming up on February 21st and 22nd. Our theme this year is Ignite Hearts and Minds. It is an event that will spark truth, love, and freedom. And so we have a very special guest here who's bringing another type of offering to our presentation, one that's based in art. And I'll just share a little bit of a quote from his website, artswill.com, where he states that his mission here is to better the universe for all through stories told in art. And I really love that. So I wondered if maybe you could start out just by sharing what has inspired you to do this work and what do you hope people will gain from art and the art you're creating in specific?
Well, I've always been an artist, and that's always been inspiring to me. And then, I've always been spiritual too, but I've, kind of s steered away from some of the traditional religions. There's just some stuff there that I kind of didn't agree with, or it just didn't make sense logically to me. And so that kind of led me to nature, and I always have been really into nature and love nature. And when people ask me like, what are your beliefs? And I would just say I believe in nature. And then through that, I did lots of research. I got into like Egypt and different things, and I found Thoth. And then through Thoth, I ended up finding a thing called the Hermetic Principles. And then through the Hermetic Principles, I found Mark Passio's work and natural law. And so that's kind of how I got there. And the natural law stuff just was very inspiring. And as an artist, I thought it would be great to start conveying some of these messages through art or through animation and storytelling and stuff. So,
Yeah, that's great. I love that you are using your creative powers here as a teaching mechanism and a way of inspiring people. And that, just to add, you are on the One Great Work Network. Yes,
yes, yes, yes.
yes. So tell us about your website and what do you have in there?
So, Arts Will, I have some animation up there. I have a Bigfoot cartoon. It's called Bigfoot Said What? And it's basically the concept is Bigfoot is an outsider. He's not part of us humans. He's looking in from the outside in a scientific way, studying us humans in the angle I've kind of created for Bigfoot. And originally I came up with the concept just as I wanted an outsider that's looking at humanity. And so I was like, I could do an alien, I could do any number of things, but I chose Bigfoot because he's a legend that apparently is from here on Earth. And so I thought that that would be kind of fun. And it's kind of fun to play with that, idea of that he's intelligent enough to stay at peace, but also hide from us. And so
Right.
I have started talking to some Bigfoot enthusiasts, and um, I've already started weaving a little bit of that lore and in subtle ways into the cartoon. So,
That's very cool. I like that you're choosing a figure that's an outsider because it is from that outside vantage point that we can get some objectivity, right, of the
Yeah,
world and the patterns that are playing out, as where we can see the cause and effects, the behavior consequence patterns. And that is where we can start to see that, morality has objectivity to it.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
also on the website, I have some other cartoons, but I also have some artwork, just some fine art paintings that I've painted throughout the years. The last 4 years, there's been an art show down in Pueblo, Colorado called the Truth Show, and it's kind of in conjunction with a festival called Third Eye Festival, where they had a panel of some people speaking and talking about truth and freedom kind of stuff. I guess it's so far right now, it's probably Colorado's biggest, I would say, freedom festival. And so I've done paintings for that for the last 4 years. And actually, I'm very excited that I just got invited to do a whole show that there next November. But anyways, yeah. Um, so I do have those paintings on the website as well for people to look at.
That's awesome and exciting to be invited to a local, more community event as well.
For
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, getting our boots on the ground as well as on the internet.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet is a very important place though to share stuff because you have such a broad reach, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. So how do you hope that your work will, ignite hearts and minds? What is the spark that you want to awaken in people?
Well, I want people just to realize that it's not as complicated as some religions or governments paint it as. It's like, to me, it's as simple as just like following your built-in conscience. Listen to that conscience. I know some of the older people out there have calcified that or have numbed it out of themselves. And I would say that your conscience is really a compass for understanding objective wrong and right. And I think to really empower yourself and other people, you have to really understand this objective difference and how to embrace that. And with my work, I kind of try to do it in a fun way where I use cartoons, or I also have a children's book where I have the it's literally a wrong versus right um, opposites book. Super simple, it's for young, 3 to 9 year olds, I'd say. And that just helps not only the parents get reminded of these things, but also that to really start building that foundation of understanding that this is something objective. You don't decide what's right is right and wrong yourself. It's basically don't harm others, don't steal, and we could have a very peaceful planet.
Yeah, I like that you're really tuning into the simplicity, the heart of the matter of, don't do harm and use your conscience. Um, and that, also targeting, the minds of children, right, in a positive way, because their minds
Mhm.
obviously are being targeted in a nefarious way, through most media. And so I think bringing art that is really helping to counterbalance, art and story and, counterbalance that negative programming that children are receiving all the time. It's really important. So I'm glad to hear you're doing that.
Yeah, so and I have a plan for some more children's books in the future, but for now, I have that one. And then I would say the Bigfoot cartoon's more for like maybe teens. He's a little bit rougher. He kind of doesn't really cuss, but he uses the word cuss in replacement of curse words. And so I would
It's pretty
say
funny.
that it's a little bit, I would say you would probably not want to introduce that to kids until they're a teenager.
That's all good. Yeah, although kids today, oh my gosh, the stuff that they are watching.
However, I would say it
Oh,
probably doesn't really matter that much. But as a parent, you might want to watch it before you say, "Hey, kid, start watching all these Bigfoot cartoons."
yeah, awesome. Is there any action that you want people to take in response to, you know, watching your work? Anything that you really want to inspire that people do that they can then make a difference?
I think that they need to be creative and not be afraid to be creative because I think that part of our purpose is to be creators and to create and help co-create this world to make it a really awesome place. And I would say that this is one of the first things that they're attacking with AI is the creativity. It's like you can get all these illustrations and all this stuff that I get paid to do for, really quickly with an AI bot that really quickly makes you like a little video or an little cartoon character or hey, I uploaded a picture of myself and now it drew a caricature of me. And so I when my parents and stuff and we discussed AI and dreamed about AI and when I was a kid and younger, it was all like, yeah, like my dad would be like, when you grow up, you're not going to probably even have to have a job because AI is going to take care of all the dirty work. And you guys are just going to be able to create and blossom and flourish and be musicians and artists. And well, how are they rolling it out? They're trying to kill that, by, hey, look, AI can make all this art for you, but you still can go clean your bathroom, you know,
Right.
do all the
Right.
dirty work that, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it doesn't have to be done, but um,
There's two visions, right? And there's the one that maybe we can influence more to bring on the tools of technology that can help ease our lives and open up our time to be creative, which I'm hearing is your vision,
right, right,
right?
exactly.
Versus the way it's being rolled out, which is more to, make us dumber, I think, and less creative
Yeah,
in a
or
lot
it's
of
almost like
ways.
it's like a surveillance tool. It's like, here, feed us all your ideas and all your inspirations, and then we'll spit out like some artwork and some videos for you. But then I don't know.
But they might have like 13 toes, and
Who
like,
knows? Who knows? But I'm just
right.
saying, like, as
Yeah.
an artist, I think people should be doing that. I think it's a lost thing. It's like people, I would say they're outsourcing their entertainment to watching the magic light rectangle,
Right.
And instead of going over and sitting at a piano and learning how to play a song, whether it's an original song you made or whether you're just learning some songs from sheet music, doesn't matter. It's fun. You're gonna like use your brain. You're gonna start firing new things in your brain that weren't before. Another thing that helps is that helps balance. A lot of people are stuck in this, left brain prison, as Mark would call it, right? And so, how do you get out of that? Well, you have to be more creative. I would argue start writing with your opposite hand. If
Yep.
you're right-handed, start writing with your left hand. If you're left-handed, start writing just as an exercise, as a brain exercise. You're
Yeah.
not going to be able to write very good at first, but you'll be surprised at how much better. If you do it every day, eventually you're going to be ambidextrous.
Yeah. That's
I've
great.
done
Great
that and I
idea.
am ambidextrous now.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes, I still have a dominant hand, but I noticed other things when I started doing that. I noticed other things in my life that started coming in more in balance. Or I noticed myself taking different perspectives or looking at things differently than maybe I would have in the past, And I don't know if it's only because I started training myself to write with my other hand or if it just happened naturally out of curiosity. But I would argue that, any of these ways that through the act of will, you're like, I'm going to go decide to learn an instrument, or I'm going to go do abstract art. I'm going to do mandalas or whatever, as a therapy or as a shadow way to do shadow work. I think these are all valuable things, and that's what I want to inspire people to do is to go out and create and share their message. You know, uh, Bigfoot is I'm using him as a content to share what I'm making, and I don't have to. I'm not doing it to hide behind a character. I'm just doing it because I'm an artist, and it's more fun to do it that way.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love what you're saying about inspiring people to take steps into building up the right hemisphere of their brain through creative action and,
I mean,
you know,
100 years ago, people would gather around the piano and someone would play it and they would dance around and sing songs, and that's how they would entertain themselves. Now, you pop some popcorn, you sit on the couch, and you turn on the magic light rectangle, and the
mhm.
family's entertained.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we need to get back to these more hands-on forms of entertainment.
I agree. Totally. I'm with you 100%. Let's, dance around the fire. Let's tell stories, sing songs, do harmonies. Yeah, laugh. Like there's something so valuable about that human element in person, in nature, and, or around it. My father was a musician. He played the piano. It was like the Pied Piper, I mean, I would follow him to the piano, and
Yeah.
dance when he was playing. And it's really like the cherished memories of my childhood. So, yeah, bringing the art into our conference and inspiring others to do creative things. I think that's a marvelous addition. So, I want to thank you for being a part of our conference. look very forward to the animations that you bring, and maybe even a piece of visual art that we could showcase as well. I'll add that.
Sure.
Yeah, and anything else maybe you want to talk about in terms of just a heads up, like some of the themes of the animations that you're working on.
So yeah, currently Bigfoot, he's been going through a lot of the natural law stuff. He went through the hermetic principles. Um, we went through the mental schisms, and we're starting to get into more of the like, here's how you can reprogram your brain. Here's some actual techniques that can be used to start, healing some of these things. And so that's kind of the direction that we're going into now, and we'll see where it goes. I do have some exciting stuff. I am collaborating with Hypothesis on animation for a music, some of their music. We're doing a video with, they have a videographer friend, and I'm going to do some animation, and we'll see how it all works out. And we're hoping to have that done in time for FUNL.
Oh,
And
wow. That's so exciting. Apophysis is great. I saw them
yeah,
in person in Philadelphia for Sound
yeah.
Bath. Met them. They're marvelous. Indie rock artists, like real hard hitting. Great.
I reached out, and we're
Yeah.
gonna do some collaborations. I'm also planning on doing something with Conrad.
Oh,
And
good.
if anyone else wants to do some collaborations, I'm fully um, game. Even Chris, I forgot to bring that up last time I've talked to him, that
Yeah.
to do some collaboration with anyone and everyone.
I love it. That's so exciting. I love the collaborative spirit. I also think that's part of the solution here,
Sure,
is
yeah,
that we help inspire each other. And when we come together and bring our creative talents, that creates a synergy. It creates more,
for
than what
sure.
one person can bring. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Very inspiring. And we look forward to, seeing what we show at Funnel 5. And so everybody tune in. It's an online event, free, and check out the freedomundernaturallaw.com to keep up with the list of presenters and any new announcements.
Yeah, I'm super grateful that to be a part of this, and I hope people enjoy my kind of fun take on things that is it can be a pretty serious topic. I kind of see myself as, if one great work network was a newspaper, I'm kind of like the comic section or the funny pages.
Awesome.
Maybe my work's not always funny, but it's always colorful. And so
That's awesome. That's a great, great analogy. All right, Woody, thank you so much.
yes, of course. Thank you.
So, natural law is a set of universal, inherent, objective, non-man-made, eternal, and immutable conditions which govern the consequences of behavior of beings with the capacity for understanding the difference between harmful and non-harmful behavior. Funnel 5, a free 2-day online conference.
Ignite hearts and minds.
The event that will spark truth, love, and freedom.
February 21st and 22nd, 2026.
For more information, visit freedomundernaturallaw.com.